right. Well, it's officially camp. We've got the type of heat out here that we look forward to. Got a big week. Just finished up our last day in what we call vest. We'll start getting in the shells and add the physical part of our preparation tomorrow. So excited about the week and really love the focus of our team today. I told him that it's very businesslike out here. So off to a good start. But next thing I just want to I know I put out some stuff on Coach Bowden, but just talked to Tommy and Terry and had a chance to talk to Coach Bowden a couple weeks ago, and just be able to. I've told him many times, but just be able to verbalize. Pretty special to be able to verbalize what somebody means to you, especially when you know what's coming. And I actually sat in the end zone by myself because we were having meetings over there. And I didn't think about it until I walked away and hung the phone up that I was sitting in the end zone where they ran the punt Ruski. And I told him, I said, I'm sitting in the stadium right here. And I knew it was going to be my last conversation with him. But, listen, what a great man. What a great example. I think I'm the luckiest coach in the country, to be quite honest with you, because, I got to learn, Coach Stallings, spent 7 years with him. I never met Bear Bryant, I never met Tom Landry, but I was influenced by both of them through Coach Stallings, because that was the only two bosses he had in his whole career. And then working 6 years for Tommy, I got to meet and know and be influenced by Bobby Bowden. And so for me to have the influence of all those coaches through my mentors, I'm the luckiest coach in the world. And he has had a huge impact on me. I loved him before I knew him. And then when I came to Clemson, and sometimes you really love people, you think you do, and then you get to know him and you go, oh God, he's a jerk, But when I got to know him, man, he's even better than you can perceive, and that's special. I'll never forget in 05, I think it was 05, Tommy and I were recruiting, and we go running in the office, and he's like, hey, I'm coming to see Daddy. We got Clemson balls on, and it was kind of a surreal moment. And we just bust right in, and walk into Coach Bowden's office. I'm like this is happening. And so we're sitting there, and he's like, yeah, Dabo. And he's like, yeah, boss, sit down. And we're sitting down. He was watching West Virginia tape. He was sitting there, his feet kicked up, watching when they were playing West Virginia in the bowl game. And next thing I know, Tommy gets up and leaves. He just walks out. He goes, I'm gonna go say hey to all the guys in this, and he just leaves me. So it's just me and Bobby Bowden, and we just had this really cool conversation. And so just, and then I get to be the interim. And one of the first calls I got that night as an interim coach was from Bobby Bowden. And he was just saying, hey, I just want you to know all the Bowdens are behind you. Yeah, but that's the type of man he was. That's the type of class he was. And then to have to play him 3 weeks later, he wasn't as nice to me that day. But just a class guy and such an example to all coaches everywhere, because as a coach, at the end of the day, it's not going to be the X's and O's, we knew. It's always going to be about the hearts and souls we grew. And nobody did that better than Bobby Bowden. I think his purpose in life was very clear, and that was to know him and make him known. That was it. And he won a few games along the way, but he never forgot what his purpose was. He never forgot what his purpose was. And, if as a coach, if I can have 25% of influence on my players' lives like he's had on his, man, that's going to be a life well lived for me, because it's really amazing. And he was a great football coach and set the standard, for a lot of people and for a long time. And you just see the love of his players and his staff. And what he did at Florida State, building that program, is just incredible from nothing. Literally nothing. And made him a destination place. So, we're all going to miss him. But, like he told Terry and Tommy, he said, y'all can have a big old funeral, but I'm not going to be there. He's in heaven with my father, and it's great. My dad died 6 years ago yesterday on the same day. My father. So I kind of woke up that morning with my dad a little bit on my mind, and then boom, I hear the news of Coach Bowden. But it was a blessing, because I know how he lived his life. He was at total peace and you know, he's in the presence of the Lord, no doubt about it. And even at the very end, he has an unbelievable sense of humor. The last thing I told him before I hung up the phone, it was really hard to hang up the phone. And but the last thing I told him was, I said, "All right, Coach, if you get to heaven before me, all right, just maybe every now and then, just help me get one of them balls through the uprights or something like that." And he goes, "Boy, you don't want my help. I had a tendency to be wide." And I just died laughing. And that's classic Bobby Bowden. And just forever grateful for the opportunity to spend time with him. He came and did our chapel in 19. We spent about an hour in my office together. And his message at 90 years old, standing up in front of our team, he threw the cane away, and it was like he was back, you know, leading the Seminoles in the 80s. The energy that he had in that moment and speaking to our team, it was a very powerful moment. So again, just prayers with the whole Bowden family, and I know this is going to be a celebration this week, and look forward to being down there and supporting you know, the entire family and celebrating the amazing life and legacy of Coach Bobby Bowden. So with that, I'll take the questions.
Could you quantify DJ last year at this time versus where he is right now, that it's his offense and, you know, what he was able to do last year, learning and translate that on the field too?
Quantify, I mean, you just see it in his confidence, you know, I guess his knowledge. I mean, the mistakes, he don't make many mistakes. You know, he didn't make many last year, but there are even fewer this year. You know, just, you know, the look in his eye. I think we're going to go play some games to maybe put a little more quantitative data to it, but just the day-to-day presence that we see and how he handles himself, how he does things in meetings, you know, his attention to detail in the meetings, his questions, those are the type of things that you want to see. And then just he shows up every day, ready. He shows up every day. He's already watched the tape. He's not showing up here and watching the tape. He's already seen the tape. You know, and so those are the type of things that really excite you as a coach when you've got a guy that you know is as invested as you are.
You talk about it's hard to rattle. Do you try to rattle him during practice? You guys folks up out on the try to get as much as you can?
Every day when we go against that defense, all I got to do is put O versus D, and that's trying to rattle them. We got about 10 fronts and about 30 blitzes in, and so all I got to do is just put it on the script to go against the defense. And, you know, but we'll create a lot of situational work as we get going through camp, you know, with different field zones and different situations from a clock management standpoint, last plays and all that type of stuff. So we'll do that, you know, as we go through camp. But anytime we go against our defense, you get a chance to evaluate whether he's getting rattled or not. Because it's a challenge.
So 3 days in, Dabo, is defense ahead of the offense?
They're just both installing. You know, I mean, when you're in shorts, it's hard to really see a lot of stuff up front. I mean, because you just really can't have the type of collisions that you do when you got pads on. So, but as far as getting our stuff in, I'm pleased with that. It's really hard for the offensive line, you know, but I like it being hard. You know, because of what we see and how advanced we are on defense. We got a very veteran group, so they've got a lot of stuff in. We got a lot of stuff in on offense. So it's been a lot about installation. It's been a lot about building our team. It's about getting back to some fundamentals and basics and making sure we got a good foundation from a individual position standpoint, figuring some of these people out. But we're in a good spot. I don't think anybody's ahead. I just think we're kind of right on track, you know, with our plan to get them ready.
But what did you see from Troy and Bo the first day, and then how are they doing?
Troy, you know, started out okay. You know, had one nice play, but you know, he's got a lot to learn. But when he kind of tweaked his throwing a little bit, so he was a little better today. You know, we're going to check him this week a little further and just see if there's anything other than just strain. And then who was on? Yes, Bo's working his way back. He just had a little slight shoulder sprain, so nothing long term. He got out and did some stuff today, which was good. But the good news is his foot's great. but he just kind of came down and kind of a little sprain in his shoulder. But he should be fine here pretty soon. Same thing with Will Brown. He has kind of the same thing. Get him back and then eventually get Ross out.
What do you see from Brian? These are your guys coming in highly touted as he was. Had a really good freshman season. Kind of strong.
Well, he's not just living off talent now. You know, he's just living off talent last year, and he was the best player. That's how talented he is. But now he's a little bit more of an effort and technique guy. You know, he's not just kind of running around and being disruptive. He's being disruptive with purpose and a better understanding of the scheme, way better understanding from a fundamental technique standpoint of the position, how all the games work, playing with Tyler and all that stuff. So just really good chemistry between those two.
Dabo, 3 days in, what about Barrett Carter and the 2 offensive tackles that showed up in the summer?
Barrett's what we thought he was. Great athlete, smooth, fast, and going to be a really good player. He seems to be picking things up very well. It's just the 3rd day. But, again, we'll see what happens once we add the physical part of the prep. And Tristan and Dietrich, oh my goodness, 2 great-looking young prospects. Again, same thing. Let's see where they are in pass. But as far as just prospects and what you would hope they'd look like, walking in out of high school, they're some great-looking young players. He was not out here today. He was not feeling well today. He'll be back when school starts, unless we have an injury or something. He wasn't in the 110. He's here every day working out, but he wasn't in the 110.
Justin still on track to be back Friday?
Yes.
How much for the D-line? Some of those sort of payday defense D-lines you had 2, maybe 3 deep of guys I'm sure you had every bit of faith in. This year sort of feels a little more like that. Just the depth on the D-line can be an advantage in its own right beyond just how good those guys are.
Well, I'll be disappointed if it's not, because those guys we've been young the last couple of years, and last year we could have been a little bit more of a veteran group, but Foster's out, XT was in and out, and not the best version of himself. Miles was a true freshman, so but this group right here, where they are right now, in every aspect, I'll be very disappointed if they don't play like I know they can. Because now they've got the experience, they're all in great shape. They've got the type of depth that you want to have, and they really understand the scheme. They understand the run scheme, the pass scheme, block destruction, pass recognition, all those things, that take time for young players. It's a very veteran group, and I'll be disappointed if they don't set the tone for us every single week, like I know they can.
We'll take one more so we can get to Clay's game.
I'm not sure if those guys even had reps on game day all together when you talk about XT, and certainly Justin didn't play at all last year. Tyler was out for a good bit. Is that a group like the offensive line that you would like to see them have more time together as sort of a unit, or is that more independent?
Justin Foster and Xavier Thomas have played together on the national championship team. KJ's been around here going on 4 years now. Maskell's on his 4 years. They've all been together. Last year was a crazy situation, but they've spent a lot of time. If you get to the national championship, that's 15 days. That's it. The other 350, they're together. So they're together all the time. They are together all the time. So the biggest thing is what they've been doing when nobody's watching, as far as what they do in the film room, what they do in the weight room, and what they do in this practice field. And I like what I'm seeing right now from that group.
All right, so let him try to go see his son.